first of all would say people help you determine your skills of leadership. I guess some people think you're born a leader. That's not true. You know, you might be a leader, but if you don't have any followers, you're just out for a walk. You're not doing anything. If you don't have followers, there's nothing to it. Someone's got to follow you. And to talk about that, I have some great leaders in my life. The first one I would recognize is my father. I can't imagine being raised without a father. The birth father in the home. That is unbelievable. We have 24 million of them in this country now. Families that have no birth father in them. That causes problems. Now, not that it isn't, I don't know what would cause it if the woman wasn't there, the mother wasn't there, the wife wasn't there. But I want to tell you something, that too is a disaster. Because my dad gave me the discipline I needed. It wasn't severe ever. He never hit me. Back in those days, they would give you what they called a licking, and some people would hit you with a strap and do a lot of things. He never did that. All he had to do was look at you, and God, you knew you were in trouble. But he also taught me a few things that I value very much. Loyalty, family, fidelity, family, what's right and what's wrong, take care of property, don't destroy property. A lot of basic things that you need as a young person growing up. And he told me one other thing. I got to be around 12, 13, 14, growing up a little bit. He says, if you ever come home drunk, your clothes are out there. You're out. It's like, it made me kind of hard because that was really a revelation for my dad to ever say that. So I was sure that that was never going to happen. Get thrown out because I never heard homeless. I don't know what I'd done if I didn't have my bed to come home to at night. I mean, that would be terrible for me. So I say, he was the guy that set the tone. My mother, God bless her. When she passed away in 1990, it took me 3 years not to say, I called Mom. She teaches you love. She teaches you family. And when you go out the door, she says, I love you. Be good. So you get taught things by your parents. And then you go outside that and maybe you get married. I've been married for 56 years to the same woman. So that's a miracle. That's a miracle. And it's not always been good, but it's been great. You got it? And you got to pull through tough times and go on. And she's the woman that's been able to do that. Because if you're married to a coach, the coach isn't home as much as you'd like to be. High school coaching, I was home. Home. I coached 13 years in high school football at Massillon, at Sandusky, at Salem, Ohio, and Mansfield as an assistant coach to 2 fine head football coaches that went on to great things. I got to tell you one thing I'm proud of. In coaching, you're proud of your players, you're proud of where you've been. But I have the best record in Massillon, the best record in Sandusky, the best record ever. And will never probably touch the ceiling. So when you do that, you're kind of a success, And I'm old enough that I can talk about it. I don't have to think that I'm boasting. It's the record. And one thing I'm proud about at Ohio State, played Michigan 9 times and beat them 5. And we went against the best coach that Michigan ever had. Glenn Shea. I told Glenn one other Glenn, that's Bo. I said, he's from Barberton, Ohio. And we used to talk, and I said, he was so proud. He said, a Michigan man. We got to get a Michigan man. Finally, I looked at him, and I said, I want to tell you something, Bo. If the Ohio State job were to come open the same day the Michigan job came open, I know where you'll be. Michigan. And Ohio State. Because he's an Ohio State man. You see him? Ohio guy. So when you talk about that, you talk about you talk about, my high school coach was a great influence on me. He was a great guy, great disciplinarian, great person to be around. You know, if you like to be around somebody, they're pretty good. If you don't want to be around somebody, you move over here. Now, on the other side of the ledger, there was a nice guy that I worked for 6 years in college football by the name of Woody Hayes. And honest to goodness, you didn't want to be around Woody Hayes. You know what I mean? If you're an assistant football coach, you want to be over here because you don't know what the hell he's going to do because you're over there. It's unpredictable. But he has all the qualities to develop a great football coach and a leadership person because he was a great leader. Great leader. And you know what? Why he was so great at times? When he was tough. He was unmerciful. It couldn't happen. Now, we don't have those tough kids that he coached. I mean, it could take the thing because every once in a while those players would rise up and say, we got to have a meeting. And at first they'd tell the assistant coaches, and the assistant coaches said, you go talk to the man. You go talk to the man. So the man would call the meeting after practice. At the last, all my players would come and tell me all their complaints and what was going on. They were, I called them crybabies, but anyhow. We had a meeting, and they go in, and they jump up right away and attack Coach Hayes. You know what I mean? You're doing this, you're doing that, we don't want to do that, we don't do this. And he'd shake his head and say, you know, this is why, and do all the explaining to the players. And I used to stand out there as they came out. And after the meeting was all over, and they had their say, and they walked out, you know what they were saying as they walked out the door? Hard to believe, because when we walked in, it was the other way. Oh, we deserved that. He's right, he's right. Every time. That's the kind of leader he was. He would take your complaints and turn right around that you're thinking you're the problem. He had a few beliefs about life. He didn't want it to be easy for you. Especially financially, he knew nothing about money. An assistant coach that had to go, we got paid every 2 weeks, and when you worked for Coach Hayes, I thought I was the only one. I thought, gee, there was something wrong with my handling money. But 2 days before payday, I'm out of money. I wonder what the devil I'm doing here. I'm calling up to get a job with Fish and Chips and Wendy's and everything else out of coaching, and I love coaching. But he never thought you should ever become rich coaching. When his last salary at Ohio State was $42,000. That's what I got when I came here. That's why I knew I was getting the job. I was the only one that would accept that kind of money. Because at the same time, when they wanted Lou Holtz to come, Lou Holtz was down at Arkansas making $350,000. Could he come to Ohio State? I knew he'd never come. So when you talk about that, he was not a capitalist. He was a great man, but he was no capitalist. And actually, I hate to say this because you know I love Coach Hayes. I love the man. But my goodness, he made my life tough, and he made assistant coach's life tough, and he didn't care if you had a dime. He was no capitalist. He was a great man of this country, but he didn't believe in money or facilities, and we had none. And it was tough convincing anyone to get them. But he was a great leader in my life.